Charlotte, thank you very much indeed. We've been mentioning the fact about wind farms quite a bit through the programme there. I have to tell you that across the British Isles, just at the moment, there's enough wind to break a wind farmer's heart. But it isn't going to stay that way, nor is the direction going to be constant. Things just turning a wee bit mild in the first part of the week, but notice as we get on into the second half, yes, more wind certainly for the wind farmers amongst you, and the change of direction quite significant, because we're going to see something of a repeat of the past week, and that we're going to have a mild spell, and then when the winds get into the north, things will turn significantly colder yet again. And I can show that to you quite markedly with the use of the nighttime temperature graphic here. See how the blues fade away. Things warm up for a time in the middle part of the week, and then as the northerlies kick in, see that we'll have fairly extensive frost where the winds begin to drop out, and certainly in some of these inland areas. So frost will be a feature in the second half of the week. Now, water shortages have also started making the news headlines rather than the weather headlines, and this really looks rather promising. Quite an area of cloud beginning to spill out of the North Atlantic, coming in towards the northern parts of the British Isles, tied in with a set of fronts. I have to tell you, though, that they are rather weak affairs, and although the cloud will thicken up across the northern half of the British Isles in the rest of today, it'll be patchy rain for the most part across these northern and western parts of Scotland, maybe the odd spot on the northern Irish coast, and then looking away towards the southeast, one or two showers there. They've been on the east coast for much of the past week. Now, Monday turns out to be a rather damp affair, damp squib more than anything else. Fronts close by yesterday, but this one's going to be really quite a weak affair, bringing more cloud down and across the British Isles. Eventually, we'll see some rain getting into the north of Scotland, but elsewhere it looks as though it's going to be a fairly cloudy day, dry for the most part, and on the mild side, certainly so on the eastern side of Scotland, where we're going to get the temperatures up to a rather steamy 15 degrees. Now, I'm going to take you out into the Atlantic because Tuesday's weather is already showing its hand. It's this band of cloud here which will become this front, straddling the British Isles in the middle part of Tuesday. To the south of it, still a rather cloudy do, then this significant band of weather and showers following on behind, quite blustery ones as well. That rain will be really rather welcome because, as you've heard no doubt in the news headlines, the middle part of the summer, first part of autumn has been particularly dry. How dry? Well, this dry. We're down to as little as a third of rain there in England and Wales, and even in Scotland only around about half what we would expect at this time of year. And just see these figures for the year as a whole, it is particularly dry. 67% there in England and Wales, and down by about a quarter in Scotland. Now, there is a bit of a change on the way, as I've already intimated with the use of the winds, for the second half of the week. Wednesday, a rather disturbed affair, fronts beginning to gang up in the southern parts of the British Isles. That could well be the first significant rain that we've seen in some of these southern areas for quite some time. And just notice that further north, there's a real mishmash of some sunny spells, but some very blustery showers indeed. And certainly as we get on through Thursday and into Friday, just notice how those winds really have turned into the north, streaming down around about that area of low pressure, bringing a much cooler feel to many parts of the British Isles. So for Thursday, quite a number of showers turning wintry on the high ground in Scotland, and where we had 15 in Aberdeen and the first part of the week, we are well down into single figures. The rain will be away from the south, and then you'll be relying on showers rather than anything else to bring you any significant rainfall. And then by Friday, well, not a great deal of change from Thursday. It will still feel particularly cold, the wind really quite strong, pushing these wintry showers into the north of Scotland, quite a sprinkling of showers elsewhere, and inland areas probably seeing the very best of the sunshine.